I'm on this road, and I'm not sure where my heart is headed. And if you left me now, I know how far I regret it. Told you once, tell you twice that I'm indebted. But I can't waste no time, you know my time is precious.
Hey YouTube, I know it's been a while, but I'm back and better than ever, and I'm excited because I have new content. And if this is your first time tuning into my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome to Unapologetically Jazz. And if you've been here before, thank you for returning. Y'all know what I'm gonna say: like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. So what I am coming to you guys with is a series that I have created. It is called Confessions of My Unhealed Inner Child. And I decided that I wanted to be vulnerable and share with you guys because I feel like a lot of us are going through the same things or have gone through similar things, and it's always told to hush, brush it under the rug, forgive and forget, blah, blah, blah. But no one ever says, hey, it's okay. Hey, let's work past this. Hey, let's heal. So that's what this series is about. Each one will kind of have a different topic, which I will base on things that I've gone through. Some you may relate to, some you may not. But I will say as disclaimer, I'm not here to offend anybody or hurt anyone's feelings, but I am here to speak my truth. And sometimes in speaking your truth, people are hurt. So if you guys see me looking down, because I'm one of those people who always loses my train of thought, I actually have written down everything that I'm going to talk about just to make it easier for me to stay on topic because I'm a blabbermouth. So I am in therapy, and this has kind of been my healing process, and it's definitely been helping me. So just want y'all to know what basically Confessions of an Inner Child is to me. So first, repairing your inner child is work. It does involve healing unprocessed childhood traumas that affect us into adulthood. Many of us have these. Some may not even realize that our childhood is what triggers things that we've been going through. And yeah, a lot of times that's what it is: unhealed childhood issues. Now, whether you're starting your journey on your own or with the help of a therapist, it's important to understand that healing is an ongoing process and it takes time. This is not something that happens overnight. You're going to have good days, bad days, and you just kind of got to battle through them. I chose to go through a professional, a therapist, because I kind of needed that extra opinion or maybe extra support that I felt like I wouldn't have if I could try to go through it and solve all these issues on my own. And I want to make sure I'm healing healthy and not creating more bad habits and actually getting rid of bad habits. So that is why I chose the therapist route. I know therapy is not for everybody. It is definitely frowned upon a lot in the Black community. I'm not really sure why, but I will say that therapy has definitely been helping me in way more ways than one. Like, it's amazing to me. So I'm on my journey of healing to become someone who is safe, secure, wise, and mature. Working on healing myself has brought a lot of face-to-face insecurities up and issues that I've had my entire life and didn't realize that I was triggered. I definitely haven't gotten rid of all of them, but I am able to find more confidence and to share my voice. My confidence does come from self-acceptance and understanding why I am how I am. I'm also starting to find wonderful parts of myself that I didn't know, that I love, that were stuck so deep below the doubts that I've created for myself, and also weeding out things that I do not need, and letting go of people or things that no longer service me. So that actually has something to do with the topic today, which the first topic is parents, first love, or first heartbreak. So a little background is I was raised by my grandparents. Wonderful, wonderful grandparents. Shout out to them. Shout out to all the grandparents that's picking up the slack that these parents aren't, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, or that maybe they're not able to do what they're supposed to do. Now, disclaimer before I begin, I honestly feel like my grandparents raising me is the best thing that could have happened to me. And I'm just realizing that now. I have a really big void that I've been trying to fill for years because I didn't get the love that I wanted from my parents and they weren't around how they should have been. And I didn't realize that I had everything I needed with the people who were around, who were giving me all of the support and love, the mother figures, the father figures. So I did have it, but because it wasn't from who I wanted, I guess I never really realized that until recently going to therapy. So kudos to my grandparents. So now let's talk about absent parents and deadbeat parents. They are different, but they can kind of be one and the same. So there is the present but absent parent, which may meet their child's physical needs, but not equally important ones. So they never say I love you. And I know a lot of people who don't say I love you to their kids. It's really a red flag, maybe for me, because I come from I'm a very emotional person, but I've always watched my grandparents show affection. So I'm very big on affection because that's how I was brought up. I tell my daughter every day, I love you, you're beautiful. So absent parents, present but absent parents usually don't say that. They're usually unapproachable. They're always busy. They shun physical affection. And yeah, that's crazy. That is what a present but absent parent is. And then there's the complete absent deadbeat parent. And honestly, I must say for myself, I feel like I would have felt better growing up if my parents would have just completely not been there at all. I would have missed the fact that they weren't there, but I think the issue for me more so was I knew who both of my parents were, and I didn't understand why they didn't love me enough to be there for me the way that they should have been there for me. So it was very painful for me. My father has been in and out of jail my entire life. But I feel like I might have a little bit more of a closer bond with him than my mom because my mom was here. And she was absent, but didn't have to be. She chose whatever she felt was more important than me, and my siblings. So I guess I give him a little bit more leeway. It's still not right because he wasn't there. And I feel like a lot of times when he was home, there's definitely areas that he could and should have improved and he did not. But I definitely feel like with him, it's different for me. So I've struggled a lot with setting healthy boundaries, which probably my next episode will be on that because I wanted that love and acceptance so bad that I feel like I lost myself trying to be a people pleaser. And that sucks. It's not healthy. So more background. My mom, I am the baby of her kids. I'm 27. I have a 28-year-old brother, a 29-year-old brother, a 30-year-old brother. My dad, I'm his oldest. And then I have a 21-year-old brother, a 20-year-old sister, 14-year-old sister, and a 3-year-old sister. So there are a lot of us, and we are all kind of dealing with the absence of our parents. My older siblings, I don't honestly really hear them talk about how they feel about my mom not being around, or maybe their fathers not being around. But for my younger siblings, their mom is very much in their lives, but our dad wasn't. And I can see kind of how it has affected them. So I know we all kind of deal and cope with things in different ways. And hopefully we all can become at peace and get some closure. One thing I will say is closure is not always what we want it to be. It's not always going to be from the people that you want it from. Sometimes the closure has to be with yourself. I'm learning now that I have to accept people for who they are. I can't change anybody the same way nobody can change me. So I can either accept them for who they are and figure out if I want to be around them or if I don't. And that's my personal choice. So every child does deserve fundamental rights to feel safe, secured, and protected. Growing up, it is emotionally and biologically responsible of our parents to create safe environments for us. I didn't realize until recently how much my childhood trauma affected my adult life. Children are supposed to feel secured, accepted, nurtured. And the most important parts of parenting is providing shelter and protection. Once again, I did have all of these things from my grandparents, but I did not understand why I felt like my parents did not give that to me, why they didn't love me, and also why y'all kept creating children if you weren't doing what you were supposed to do from jump. Like I said, out of my mom kids, I'm the youngest. So for me, why did you continue to have kids if you weren't there for any of us? For my dad, I'm the oldest. So you continue to have kids and you weren't there. So it's just like, y'all are creating broken children. And I don't know if people really realize what an effect of not having a parent there does. But once again, I would much rather have a parent who's completely all the way gone than to be in and out. It's so emotionally draining and it's really like unfair. So some of the issues that happen with having those absent parents, I will say these are for me. Some other people may have had this, but low self-worth, the fear of failing, the fear of not succeeding or standing out, the fear of being alone, unable to set healthy boundaries. I will say I definitely feel like I have daddy and mommy issues. I always constantly would overcompensate because I didn't want people to leave, because I felt like the two most important people left me. So at one point in my life, I overcompensated. I did too much for people who honestly did not deserve it, hoping that it would make them stay or hoping it would make them be better people or love me. And it don't work like that. So I honestly had to learn to love myself, understand my self-worth. And at 27, I probably will say 4 years ago is honestly when I learned to love myself. And it was after getting out of the relationship with my daughter's dad. I did not love myself. I didn't even like myself, to be honest, because now looking back at the stuff I tolerated and put up with, I would never do that. And I also was just like, this is not cool. I want to set an example for my daughter, and I don't think I was. So I want everyone to know that you can break generational curses and you don't have to be a product of your environment. Pain sometimes gives the best lessons. The void I felt by not having active biological parents gave me such fuel to make sure that my child never feels that pain. Their absence showed me what I wanted and what I didn't want for my life. My past and pain will no longer be a burden. I'm the author of my own story. So even without them being there, they taught me a lesson. It taught me how I wanted to raise my child, what I wanted her to feel, what I didn't want her to feel. And that's super important. I still, in the midst of all of that, and I don't think I ever realized it, was taught the most important thing. And it's just be there for my baby. Now, we're not always going to get everything right. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. So I won't sit here and act like I am a perfect parent, because I'm not. I scream, I cry, I get angry. I can be mean. I might not be as understanding sometimes. So I'm not going to sit here and say that my parents may have had everything all together. And I don't know their story. So maybe one day they'll feel comfortable enough to kind of share them with me. And maybe it'll give me some more, a different perspective of what I feel now. But like I said, what I feel now, these are my feelings. This is what I've gone through, and this is part of my healing journey. What I would really like from both of my parents is for them to apologize and basically just validate my feelings. Will I ever get that? I honestly don't know. I do know I've had a couple conversations with my father where I feel like they are going down the right track. My mom, I'm not really sure. There's something that I'm just going to have to see. But so here's some tips just to kind of help with healing and just to help with being better parents for our kids. Let's be honest, we all have room for improvement in life. Parenting, social, dating, self-care, there's always room for improvement. So for our kids, be there with your whole body and your heart. Remember, your kids can feel it when you're disconnected. Make eye contact, talk to your kids, not at them. I think that's super important. Don't forget the power of physical touch. Be sure to give hugs and allow contact. Let them know that you love them, kisses. Now, also, you are allowed to have your days, your moods, your own problems as well. But the only way for us to break these generational curses or to do things better is to be the opposite of what our circumstances were, whatever they were, especially if they were bad. Just turn them around for your kids. And I think that's kind of what my focus is right now. But I definitely can say that my parents were my first heartbreak, and probably the hardest lesson that I learned is that sometimes the people who are supposed to be there for you aren't going to be there for you. And it's okay to get that love from somewhere else. But I hope you guys enjoyed my first episode from my mini series. You guys stay tuned. I'll definitely come with more content. Please feel free to comment anything down below. And like I said, they'll probably be more and more vulnerable as time goes on. And hopefully I can give y'all some content tips, tricks on how to heal whatever issues you guys are dealing with from your inner child, or even adulthood, maybe issues that have just happened, but just knowing like you're not alone. There's more than one person who's dealing with this, and maybe we can come together and heal each other, you know, with just our stories or being able to talk. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, my babies.